Please give a warm round of applause for Doug McMillon, our President and CEO of Walmart.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear us okay?
Yes. You want the mic on?
It doesn't matter. I'll just talk loud. I didn't know it wasn't on.
Yeah.
It's great that you could all make some time to be here. You're going to have a special experience being here. I'm going to say just a couple of things and then sit down because I really want to turn this over to Alvin. I'll just start by saying that Alvin and Elizabeth have not changed at all. You'll notice that as you see these pictures over time. They just keep you better looking. You can't really tell Walmart's story without Alvin. It would be incomplete if you tried to. And I think it's a bit the same the other way around. You can't really tell Alvin's story without talking about Walmart. So it's appropriate that we're doing it here. Alvin will tell you a little bit about the book. I'll just say that I'm really excited and pleased that he finally wrote this stuff down. He's been so busy over all these years that he didn't have a chance to do it. A number of us have been encouraging him to do it, and I really enjoyed reading it, and I know that you will too if you haven't read it already. I love stories, and the book is full of great stories, and I know many of you, based on the stickers, are in the book. Maybe you had a chance to read it already. The other thing that I wanted to say, and I know that many of you know this because you know Alvin, but he has given of himself tirelessly for so many years to help other people. His focus was on younger people, which have this, impact over their many years of their lives. There's no telling what the exponential impact of Alvin and Elizabeth's work has been through all of these people that have been touched over the years. But he also influenced a lot of business leaders that didn't go through either the SIFE or Enactus program by putting us around those young people and by spending time with him. He influenced me a great deal and still does. I look up to him and I appreciate the sacrifice. I don't know if you have any idea how many airline miles you've flown in your life. I hope you don't know. It's got to be all over the world to invest in other people in all of these different countries. And he took the challenges, whether they came from Sam Walton or they came from Jack Shoemaker, to try and make a bigger difference and to teach free enterprise and to teach that capitalism could be good and teach that business could be good. And that's really needed. It's needed today and it's needed then. And Alvin did it better than anybody. So if you haven't read the book, please do. We like to sell stuff, so buy some stuff while you're here. And please help me welcome Dr. Alvin Rohrs.
Well, that's very humbling. My good friend Ted Fox, who built this beautiful display, by the way, one of the things he's done for me over the years is he's always been the one who's run the pool on how soon it will take Alvin before he cries at anything. So if you want to get your number in, Ted's the guy to see.
You're booking.
Thank you so much for that, Doug. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here. Shelley, thank you for being here. I was at a conference several years ago, and Malcolm Gladwell was the speaker. He is a very well-published author. His books are really thick and really deep. Mine's not so thick and not so deep, but you'll laugh more when you read mine. But it was interesting because he's a keynote speaker. He got up, he just had a freshly published book, and he says, I think many of you are expecting me to talk about my book tonight, and if I do that, then you won't buy the book. So I'm not going to tell you what's in the book. So you'll just have to buy it. So I'm going to follow Malcolm's example a little bit. I'll tell you what the book isn't. It's not my autobiography, but some of my life is in it. It's not the history of Enactus, but some of Enactus and SIFE's history is in it. And it's not the Walmart history, but some of Walmart history is in it. But it is a lot of stories. So I'm going to tell you a couple stories that are in the book, and then I'm going to tell you some stories that aren't in the book. So you'll have a few fresh ones. And then have you ever read a book and thought, I'd like to meet that person that's in the book? Well, I'm going to introduce a lot of you out here. So I'm going to tell stories about you guys. So that's kind of how I'm going to start. So the first, being here at the museum, Alan and his staff have been awesome. Thank you so much. This museum means a lot to me. So the first story I'm going to tell you is actually in the book. Now, this isn't going to work unless we get some audience participation. So audience, your line is, you have to read the book. Ready? You have to read the book. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
You have to read the book.
Okay, so we'll start on this story. So I was here for the dedication of this museum. And in that corner there was a display talking about the partnership between Walmart and Sci. And I got a personal invitation to come to the museum opening, along with every customer of Walmart in America and every resident of the state of Arkansas. But I took it very personally. In the book I talk about the importance of bringing your passion to your work. And Accelerator leaders bring energy and passion. And one of the most energized, passionate leaders I've ever been around was Sam Walton. And so I used the opening of this museum as a story to really emphasize that. So the museum opening was like store openings. The platform, the stage, was a flatbed semi-trailer, metal bed, dropped on the street, chairs in front of it, red, white, and blue bunting surrounding it, red, white, and blue bunting all over the square. So they have Don Soderquist is kind of MC. He introduces different speakers. They come out, they talk, and as they're all talking, you can see the clouds rolling in. And so this was back in the day when all the microphones were hardwired. Everything was electric, right? So the clouds are rolling in, and they finally get to the last person. It's a saxophone player. Plays his number on the saxophone. Sam Walton says, I think this guy will be famous someday, and if you want to know who that is,
you have to read the book.
some of you know, but you have to read the book. So Mr. Walton gets up and he starts talking. And he walks all over the stage, which is a metal trailer with the dollies down. And it starts to rain. And Don Soderquist, who is a lot taller than Mr. Walton, grabs an umbrella, one of those big golf kind of umbrellas, and starts holding it over Mr. Walton. And they start walking around, and Sam, he talks, he walks, and he walks, and he walks, and Don is done this, and Sam just, Mr. Walton just kept running into it. Boom, 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 boom. So after about 5 or 10 minutes of this, Sam stops, he turns to Don, he says, Don, I don't need an umbrella. I'm going to burn off the rain. And by golly, he did. The umbrella went away, he talked, we're all standing there getting wet. You see those cartoons where there's somebody with a black cloud over them? This was totally the opposite. We're all getting soaked. It's like he didn't get wet at all. You know, it's just he burned off the rain. But that's the kind of energy he has, and that's my connection to this museum goes all the way back there. Every time I come to Bentonville, I find the time to come and see what's new and to read about all the history that I know that's there. So that's one of the stories that's in the book.